Coming to you live above the Heineken River Deck at Pier 17 in New York City. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, it's time for the segment where you decide what we discuss. It is Keep It Moving.
Tang. Keep it moving. Woo! Tang.
If you want to discuss the topic, say hit the brakes. If not, we will keep it moving. And we start with some sound from Urban Meyer about Tim Tebow. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
I just love that we have franchises for the culture. Hit the brakes.
Let's listen to the new head coach of the Jaguars talk about Tim Tebow.
They come in and they said, wow, you know, this guy's ball skills, he's a great athlete. He looks like he's 18 years old, not 20, whatever he is, 33. And I said, guys, you don't understand now. This guy is, you know, he's the most competitive maniac you're ever going to talk to. And let's give it a shot. And I have not decided if we're going to do that or not yet. I'm getting close. I got to make a decision here pretty soon.
Jalen, he says he has to make a decision soon. What do you make of that?
It just further highlights the disappointment that so many like myself have. That Colin Kaepernick chose to take a peaceful protest prior to a football game about police brutality and racial injustice in this country. And in his history, he's been a consistent starting quarterback that led a team to a Super Bowl and got whiteballed out of the NFL. When Tim Tebow gets to run through not only an opportunity to play for the Jaguars, but to reinvent his name in the news cycle for a guy that we don't feel like is going to have a really good NFL season, for a guy that does not look 18, Urban Meyer, and he won't once he get hit. And so it's just that comes to mind for me. I'm not necessarily mad because I know that favor and that relationship he has with Urban Meyer is going to continue to give him opportunities. And that's how the world works.
The Brooklyn Nets got a win against the Bulls yesterday as we head into the playoffs. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hopefully they get Harden back soon. Hopefully Kyrie doesn't have a serious injury. Keep it moving for now.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
The Nuggets beat our guy, James Borrego's Hornets yesterday. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes on this.
One person I want to highlight here is Michael Porter Jr. and what he has been doing since Jamal Murray came out. What do you think about MPJ?
I think it's been terrific to watch his maturation as a number 2 scorer with the Nuggets. This is what he wanted. He was a guy that saw Jamal Murray and the Joker blow up in the bubble and had the confidence to come out and still complain about his touches. Just think about that. After beating the Clippers the way they did. And so when you do that in the locker room in front of the coaching staff, you got a ball when you get the opportunity. And he is putting in work. Big shout to Michael Porter Jr.
I will never discuss the Nuggets without acknowledging the great play of my guy, Facundo Campazzo. He had a couple great highlights yesterday as well. You know what? Everyone else is starting to get in the Campazzo train, too. Just remember who the conductor of the Campazzo train is, because I see his highlights on Twitter. I see people tweeting about him. Campazzo is my guy. Stay away from Facundo Campazzo. Moving on, we have some interesting news about the Jazz and Donovan Mitchell. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
I'll say we keep it moving because I believe if he's not ready for the start of the playoffs, that may be reason to panic if you're the Utah Jazz.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
We have just a little morsel of insight on the future of Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
The GM of the Bucs said if he wants to play till he's 50, he's still playing when he's 50, we'll have him until he's 50. How do you feel about that?
I just like the way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers brass is basically thumbing their nose at the rest of the league for their infatuation and love for Tom Brady. He's only been there one season and won the Super Bowl. They talk about Tom Brady like he's been there 15 years. Wait, that's Aaron Rodgers. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's Russell Wilson. Got it. I figured. Okay, so what they're doing is they're acknowledging that this is our guy, but you guys have those poor quarterback situations going on around the league. Of course he wants to play till he's 50. Who doesn't want to play till they're 50? But not going to be able to do it.
We will see. But look, they won a Super Bowl last year. We'll see how his season goes this year. I could see him playing for like 3 more years. Moving on, will the Athletics be moving on from Oakland? Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes on this one.
They've been in Oakland since 1968. We all know what has happened to Oakland sports franchises. How do you feel about the potential of the A's leaving town?
I just remember when the Pistons left Detroit, and though they won a couple of championships at the Palace, it was never the same. And the joy in the city when they decided to return and play at Little Caesars Arena, I was actually at their game last night against the Wolves. This is disappointing for the city of Oakland. It's almost like you root for the Golden State Warriors all of these years, and then they become a championship level team, and then they bounce and go to the suburbs. And now the Oakland A's have been there since 1968. They leave. The Raiders left to go to Vegas. It's just unfortunate that that city won't get the fiscal boom from professional sports that it used to.
Jalen, sticking with baseball, Ohtani did it again. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hey, man, I got another crush. Hit the brakes.
Okay, Jalen. Not only did he strike out 10 batters, when he was done doing that, he went to right field and played defense. This man is not getting enough flowers or love for what he has done this season.
On this show, he is, and he will. This is going to be your Shohei Ohtani update network program right here. Because anytime somebody can strike out 10 people and then go to the bat and hit the ball as far and go to the plate and hit the ball as far as anybody in Major League Baseball, I have never seen anything like him. Never.
The only
Never. When we start
Babe
talking
Ruth.
about the greatest shows in sports, that is going to be the greatest show in sports right there. Shohei
Absolutely.
Ohtani. Stay tuned.
Congratulations to Shohei Ohtani. Seems like he's making history every week. Jalen, the Warriors had themselves a game, and they got a contribution from an unlikely player. We'll show you all of that right after this. You are watching Jalen Jacoby.
Two of the great franchises in the NBA, the Knicks and the Lakers.
I wake up yelling, get the bag, gotta get the bag.
What a matchup here. Randall and AD.
I leveled up a couple levels, bruh. Every move that I make, I gotta double up.
Big shot for the Knicks. Matthews with the follow.
Get overtime.
Julius Randle. Three-pointer on its way. It's good. And the Lakers win it in overtime.
He's Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that we do?
What up, though? We get the people what they want.
Jalen, we have the leaked Week 1 NFL schedule, and we have a ton of NBA action last night with playoff implications, including where the night ended between the Lakers and the Knicks. THT hit some big buckets at the end of the game in overtime. And then, right at the end, my Knickerbockers, RJ Barrett had the ball, and this is the shot that he got, and they lost the game.
What had happened was,
After the game, LeBron and AD taunted Spike Lee, and then after that, AD had this to say.
I'm hurt. Not more so my body, just my groin got tight. That was really it. Not sure where it came from. There's no way I was coming out the game. I mean, big game for us. A team was playing red hot. The situation that we're in, trying to battle for 6.
Jalen, AD is hurting. LeBron is supposed to come back tonight to test that ankle. What does this all mean for the Los Angeles Lakers?
the Lakers are going very deep into the box score to pull out these wins to try to propel themselves from the NBA play-in. THT's shot was huge. AD part 2, that's Andre Drummond, had 16 points and 18 big boards. I know a lot of fans were questioning whether this was going to be a good fit because he struggled in a few games. He was huge yesterday. Kyle Kuzma returned. He also had 23 points. And so for the Lakers, as I start to think about the West, Jacoby, and watch AD get injured, he said he didn't want to come out of this game. You know what that means to me? He's not going to play in the next game. When LeBron James comes back, is Caruso going to play? Is Schroeder still out? And so the Lakers have a lot of question marks, but here's a silver lining.
What's
you
that?
don't want to be a part of the play-in. However, if the Lakers are a part of the play-in and they ultimately get the 7th seed, that's better than playing the Utah Jazz in the first round or the Clippers in the first round. So it actually might end up working out for LeBron and company.
It might, but let's see what it's going to take to get there, because right now it is between 3 teams in the West to avoid the play-in. And of course, that is the Blazers, the Lakers, and the Mavericks. The Lakers basically have to win out, and they need the Blazers or the Mavericks to go 1-2. And you look at who the Trailblazers play: the Jazz, the Suns, and then the Nuggets. If the Nuggets have something to play for there, it could happen. And that is one of the reasons that you and I both love the play-in tournament. But Jalen, can't help but notice that the New York Knickerbockers lost that game last night, and they really needed that one, because there are implications beyond just what happened at Staples Center last night. The Knicks now drop down to the 6th spot. And while it would be so great to have the Knicks in the playoffs, to have at least 2 games in Madison Square Garden, that means that they would end up in the 6-3 game. And I don't know if you see that deer right there at the number 3. I don't know how good the Knicks are going to be against that Bucks team. They need to play themselves into a spot where they're either playing the Heat or the Hawks. Jalen, what do you think about the Knicks' chances right now of advancing to the second round?
I think you need to hit the brakes on they should rather play the Heat. They should rather play the Hawks. If they play the Bucks or Miami, just so you know, as a die-easy New York Knickerbocker fan, they will lose to either one of those teams in the first round. But let me tell you something else that I want you to be excited about. You remember going into yesterday's game, I told you that Nick